Would you believe this thing behind me was a POV pack 6th month 1985 HJ60? Well, it's not anymore, but this thing has definitely got a backstory. Mark, a lot of you guys in the southeast Queensland will know Mark Bestman. He's the admin on the 60 series Facebook page. Now they're a really interesting group. Mark puts a lot of time and effort into the Facebook page. He also does every sort of 8 weeks or so. Meets up with all the other guys within the 60 series scene in southeast Queensland to do really cool camping trips. They go to Glassy, they go all over the place, destinational camping, bit of four-wheel driving, family friendly. So get on the Facebook page to check out the 60 series owners page there, man. It's a lot of info, a lot of cool guys on there chatting about these cool rigs. But so this has been in the family. Mark's dad bought this when it was 2 years old. Mark's dad used it throughout his life. It got parked up probably about 14 years ago now. And it was in a right sorry state about 7 years later when Mark decided to get this thing out of the shed. Looking a bit sorry for itself, leaning over on one side where all the tyres were flat. He's pulled it out and it's developed over 6-7 years into what we see here today. It's absolutely beautiful, and it must be a bit of a touring off-road weapon as well. I can't wait. Me and Paul have been talking about getting out with the 60 series crew for one of these weekends away, the camping trips. Definitely going to go on the next one, I reckon. But let's start up the front on this bad boy. We've got the ARB bull bar up the front with the scrub rails and the side steps. We've got the winch. You know, when you see all this stuff on a car, you know it's out there wheeling. You've got the winch. We've got the Hulk 4x4 spotties with the light bar up the front there. Plenty of light if you're ever driving at night. We've got a UHF aerial here. Now, I quite like these, not on all of the 60s, but some of them. The wind deflector on the front of the bonnet here. And you've got, I don't think these would have come on the POV pack. These are the HJ61 flares so we can get these massive GT wheels. These are 15-inch neg 44 mud terrain tyres here. Without these guards, they definitely be illegal, but they're very, very cool. Look, something that we've got here on the shelf at Mr. Landcruiser. If you own a 40, a 60 or a 75, we have these sun visors in stock. No, you don't have to wait. If you go to Sun Visors Australia or Highway Visors, you have to wait months for these things. We've got them in stock on the shelf. Give us a ring. Moving back from there, look, we've got the decals. Now, I really like the decals on some of them. This is the Saudi sand. Obviously, did you know that Saudi Arabia was the biggest importer of Land Cruisers in the world after Australia? No wonder they had to dedicate a decal for the side of the 60s dedicated to the Saudis. That's very cool indeed. Moving back from here, we've got the 3XM windows here. These are a great addition if you're camping, getting out there, needing this to get in here in this space here. On the other side, we've got the camping gear, and it's all set up. You can see fire extinguishers. You've got first aid kits and all that on the other side. But it's just awesome to be able to, especially when you've got a cargo barrier, to be able to get in the back. Easy access to all your gear. Something that I've been definitely looking at for mine. Right, you've got the factory bar at the back here with the bolt-on tyre carrier. We've got some LED bulbs on the back bar just to keep it all legal, because you can't see them when you've got the tyre carrier. But this thing's just immaculate. The paint job's immaculate. There's actually, Mark said it's had a bit of a tickle in its time about 6 years ago, but it's really holding up well to the conditions, that's for sure. Now, let's go inside, see what's going on in there. Actually, nah, sod it. Let's go and take this thing for a drive. Right, I really wanted to come for a drive in this HJ60 for a couple of reasons. Under the bonnet of this thing is pretty special in itself, right? So we got, first off, we've got a dual battery system. We've got 2 batteries in the front of this thing, start battery, auxiliary battery. And then in the rear of the vehicle, in the camping setup, we've also got another battery. And that's all powered by a C-Tech unit that's sat under the bonnet on the driver's side here. powering the whole setup. So this is really set up for a tourer. It's also got a button inside here, so you can link the two batteries if your start battery's gone down. It's very, very cool. Also, this thing's got a whistle and soot turbo, a 60 series whistle and soot turbo kit. Now these things are on the shelf. Shout out Mr. Landcruiser, inquire about them because they are absolutely awesome. Harley at Whistle and Soot knows exactly what he's talking about with these 2H motors, and he's had these turbos built perfectly synchronized with the 2H. It's just awesome. You can feel, look, you're never going to win the quarter mile record, but it transforms the 2H into an absolute beast. It pulls uphill. Those of you who have got normally aspirated 2Hs know how demoralizing it is when that caravan comes past you going up a hill that you've just spent the last 40 minutes trying to get past. So they really do transform it. Now, not only does this thing have a beautiful stainless steel whistle and soot turbo kit, it's been put on an engine that's had a full rebuild, which, you know, you can put a turbo kit on an old engine and you definitely feel the benefits, but when it's paired with a brand new rebuilt 2H, it's chalk and cheese. It really is. It's so cool. It's just awesome. We've got a little catch can under there, very simple SAS setup, just to collect some of that oil vapor as it goes back into the inlet manifold. Other than that, under the bonnet, that's it really. And then, you know, you're coming inside into this beautiful, beautiful interior that we got in here. Now, this wasn't always like this. None of this was. Remember, this was a POV pack, so we had none of the. Look, I'm touching it now. I'm turning the aircon on because I'm getting a bit warm in here. But it never came with aircon. Definitely never had the inclinometer and all that that's going on the dashboard. The dash. Now, this is a 1985 6 months, so we've still got the old square dash, and we've got a single DIN stereo in there, UHF, and obviously because of the age, it's a manual select four-wheel drive, low range. Moving back from there, this thing back in its day would have been a POV pack, would have been vinyl seats front and rear, right through to the rear. Now, you know, in those hot Australian conditions, definitely without aircon, it wouldn't have been very comfortable under your thighs, that's for sure, a bit sticky. Moving back from there, we've got a cargo barrier to protect the kids. This is obviously a tourer. This thing is an absolute pleasure to drive. It's just absolutely awesome, a real step back in time. Now, let's get back to the yard and check out the rear of this thing. I've got to show you in the back of this thing. It's set up as a proper tourer. But before I do, you've got to check out Schmitty's Encounters. Now, Mark said I've got to give Schmitty a shout out because he helps the 60 series community out in southeast Queensland a lot with some filming and GoPros and stuff like that when they're out on their adventures. So go over to Schmitty's Adventures on YouTube, check it out. Anyway, enough of that. Let's look at the back of this one. A swing arm out here. Stay there. Right, this thing, as I said, is properly set up for camping. We've got the Titan drawers throughout here that you can get off the shelf for a 60. The side compartments which are full of spares and stuff for touring, both sides. We've got your compressor in there and your first aid kit, like I said before. That's all easy access from the 3XM side windows. We've got your angle fridge, we've got a table for when you're out and about, a little picnic time. Your angle on the slide out. Fridge slide there. And obviously the cargo barrier that you can see in there to stop this stuff coming through and smashing you in the back of the head. If you look through, because this was the POV pack, the rear seats didn't have any headrests, so Mark's made some headrests up there that actually connect to the cargo barrier itself, so that's very, very clever. I can't wait to get out with Mark next time they're on a little trip in southeast Queensland. It's going to be awesome. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to show you Mark's HJ60 here. It really is a beast of a vehicle, well set up for camping, touring, four-wheel driving, all the things that we love to do in our old classic Land Cruisers. Now, remember to get over to the Southeast Queensland 60 Series owners page. Get on there, loads of nice guys, just all to do with 60s. It's a great page to be on, loads of information. Now, 6 month 1985 HJ60. What a beauty.